welcome to the Filmspeak podcast. My name is Amanda.
My name is Adam.
And we are a movie and pop culture podcast. Today we'll be talking about what we both just watched this week, and we'll also be expanding on Adam's top 3 favorite movies. So Adam, how was your week?
Pretty good.
Mine was alright too.
It's Christmas time, and that's hectic.
Yes, definitely. I'm going to be really happy once Christmas is over.
Yeah, I'm going to miss heavy winter beer. That's about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, did you watch anything good this week?
I have been burning through Christmas horror movies recently.
Ooh, like what?
Like the re-release of the new Scream Factory Black Christmas Blu-ray, which is like one of the creepiest movies of all time.
I haven't seen it, but you talk about like the way you talk about it really does make me want to see it.
It's pretty terrifying.
Really?
Like, it's I mean, like the killer is completely anonymous, and like you don't really understand why he's tormenting these women, and but it's really good. Definitely like could be a movie that doesn't have to take place around Christmas. Like I don't know why it was set around Christmas time. It really has nothing to do with the plot other than the fact that the girls are like at home, or they don't go home for like Christmas break. They stay in their dorm.
So it's like they're like the only ones.
Yeah, and their dorm
campus
is loose term, but yeah, basically like they're the only ones in the neighborhood, like at this time of year, because it's like a row of like college dormitories. And
are they sorority girls or?
Yeah, they're sorority.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it's awesome though.
Yeah, I do really want to see it.
Yeah. Other than that, I watched Christmas Evil, which is about like I don't even really know how to explain this movie. Like a Santa Claus impersonator who's like down on his luck, but in his own time, he's like completely obsessed with Christmas, like all year round, like decorating his tree and like setting up his Christmas train and singing Christmas songs to himself like all year round.
Oh my god.
But basically, I mean, it's like who the villain character is like out in front the whole time, but you come to find out that like this guy has like the most like genuine heart of all time, and he's not actually like trying to do anything wrong. He legitimately wants to be Santa Claus. That's like the moral of the things. Like he doesn't ever snap. He snaps in a sense, but he snaps into actually becoming Santa and legitimately like flying away in his like car off the side of a bridge at the end of the movie. Like it's crazy.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of like stupid stuff out there, but I've also been watching like my girlfriend is a fan of not like bloody horror Christmas movies. She likes like the real deal. So like The Family Stone was something that we watched this week.
Oh my gosh, I love that one.
Easily could also be turned into a horror movie. That girl is like trapped in a house with a bunch of people that hate her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I really think that's a great movie.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite Christmas movies actually.
Yeah, I love like the like family in that just feels so like real and like lived in, and their like problems are like genuine kind of, and they like I don't know, I love the diversity with like the brother who has like the gay husband, or the
isn't he like deaf?
Sorry,
or
the brother has the gay husband. The brother has the deaf husband. Yeah, like just that whole like thing with like him and Diane Keaton, and
right.
I don't know, it's very like sweet movie at its core, and I really like that.
Yeah, I definitely love that one. I actually haven't watched any Christmas movies yet, but I feel like I am going to be making the transition into watching Christmas movies to try to get like somewhat excited for Christmas, or at least make it feel like it's like a holiday coming up, because I haven't really had that feeling lately. I wish I did, but I've watched an unreal amount of movies in the last couple of weeks, because there was like a week where I was sick, so I was just like doing absolutely nothing, so I just like really took the time and just
you gotta do it.
Yeah, and so I mean, I watched a whole variety of things. I watched a movie called Always Shine. Have you heard of it?
No.
It's I don't know if I would call it a horror movie. I feel like it is categorized as that though. It's about two best friends who have this kind of like disconnect in their relationship recently because they're both actresses, but one of them is way more successful than the other one, and there's like very clear like resentment and a lot of like guilt and everything. But basically they spend a weekend together, and it's like from start to finish it's just very tense, like between the two, because one of them is trying, the more successful one is trying to be nice and everything, but the other girl, I forget the actress's name, but she's from the show Halt and Catch Fire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And she, I mean,
I have heard of this movie.
Right, she is
now that I know
so,
who's in it, but
yeah, it's just like the amount of hostility there, and it's a very good like into the mind movie of this girl and like how much like hostility she's harboring. And I wouldn't say there's like a big twist or like a big crazy turn, but I mean it was just it is like a very gripping and like engaging movie, and I did really enjoy it.
That's awesome.
And I watched Ratatouille for the first time. It was absolutely amazing. I really loved it. It was really cute. And I also rewatched Lady and the Tramp for the first time in like over 10 years.
Okay.
And I decided that Lady from Lady and the Tramp is my favorite Disney princess. And and what else did I watch? I have a little list in front of me. I got drunk and tried to watch Varsity Blues, but I ended up turning it off after like 30 minutes.
Yeah, you couldn't handle the purple-headed yogurt slingers.
Ew. No, I couldn't. I also just
Shout out to purple-headed yogurt slingers.
Yeah. I don't know. I know I had said this to you before, but I just feel that I missed like the age to like see that and really enjoy
Definitely.
it. And I also missed the age to really like James Vanderbeek, I guess, and think that he was like charming and cute, like a lot of people, like a lot of people seem to do.
Fucking Dawson.
I haven't seen Dawson's Creek.
That show's great, and you really would love it.
I've been thinking about watching it actually, just because I love Joshua Jackson so much.
Casey, you would like it.
Yeah, I mean, I love Joshua Jackson.
At least like the first season, I really think like you would really enjoy.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, really good like introductory to those characters, and then, but like it's still sort of like innocent, and then something crazy happens like the end of that season. It's like, oh, this show's like actually kind of fucking intense. And
isn't the majority of the show kind of following like a love triangle that doesn't really get resolved? Is that you who told me that? Or?
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
I actually never like finished the series, but Beth, I feel like is
okay.
Like who you would who probably would have said that to you.
Okay.
I knew we were talking about it like last week.
Yeah. What else did I watch?
Also, though, weirdly enough, like I know we're both like big Scream fans.
Mm-hmm.
Written by the same guy, Kevin Williams.
Really?
I think that's
Wait,
his name.
he wrote Dawson's Creek?
Yeah, he the guy, like the screenwriter of Scream.
Oh wow.
The original wrote
Oh my
Dawson's
gosh.
Creek.
I've actually been using the news app on the iPhone. Like I've actually been like really
to be terrified of the world forever.
I mean, kind of, yeah. But also
no, I really like that. That's like a nice feature.
It is a nice feature, and it's so customizable. Like I get a lot of. That's how I find out about like new movies, especially new horror movies. But I was scrolling through it a couple days ago, and it was like the 20th anniversary of Scream, like all those articles, and kind of like where are they now type of thing, and just kind of like an appreciation for it, which I just thought was really cool.
Yeah. Today's date is the 22nd of December, and oh yeah, okay. So December 20th, 1996 was when Scream came out. It was like
wow.
20 years to the day yesterday, or 2 days ago.
Oh, that's crazy. That's my brother's birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
96?
Oh, no, not 96.
Okay.
No,
I was gonna say.
Like late
that's
80s.
Crazy.
Yeah. I'd be like, which is more important?
You're right. Scream.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy, Kevin Williamson, wrote all of the Scream movies, the new, like, Scream TV series. He wrote all of Dawson's Creek, 128 episodes.
Wow.
Actually, I guess not all of it, technically, but the big majority of it. The Faculty, have you ever seen that?
I saw it a long time ago, and I've been meaning to rewatch it, but haven't gotten around to it lately.
Doesn't totally hold up, but
Really?
it's fun. He
Yeah.
also is the writer of the Vampire Diaries.
I watched like the first season.
Vampy D's also.
I've admittedly have watched like the first season of that.
That's
But what else did I watch? I watched American Honey and really enjoyed it.
yeah, I needed to watch that.
Yeah, it's really very good. And I mean, I made a video that's also going to be on the Filmspeak podcast for those who are listening. It's going to be on our YouTube, and along with the video being published, our website is going to launch. But I talk about the movies, American Honey, the new movie White Girl, which I have a lot of thoughts about, and the movie Kids by Larry Clark, and I like talk about the different aspects of youth that each movie focuses on, and whether or not I believe that it was effective. And really, White Girl is the only one that I thought like missed quite a few things. But
yeah, Kids is real.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, at the time, that's like, that's some fucking real hard-nosed.
Yeah, I mean, the only things that are, I mean, that movie came out 21 years ago, going on 22 years ago, and the only thing that's dated is maybe, like, their fashion.
Oh, yeah.
Or, like, you know, them not being able to just, like, call each other or whatever. But everything else
will be teenagers.
Everything else, like, the beginning of the sexual exploration and, like, not thinking about the consequences of any of their actions until, you know, the main character, or the main female character gets, like, HIV. Like,
Spoiler.
It's... Sorry, y'all. But, yeah, it is very real, and it's honestly a bit scary.
No, it is.
But I was also able to find some, like, parallels between that and White Girl, because I had actually been keeping an eye on the release of White Girl, because I saw the trailer for it back in July, and I was reading some press for it. Yeah, Harmony Korine had been saying that, you know, it was part of the press that he was saying White Girl was the most exploitative look at NYC youth since Kids. And so I was like, whoa, like, what are they gonna possibly do?
Yeah.
And so I had been keeping an eye on it, and it finally got added to Netflix in the beginning of December. And I watched it literally the day it got added, and I really just have a lot of thoughts, because I think the most effective part of it was showing how clearly white privilege is real, and like how it's definitely a thing. But something that really irked me, and I get why this was done, but it was every single man who was in this movie was super predatory, like to the main character, whose name was Leah in the movie. Super predatory. There was not, I don't think 20 minutes passed in the movie a man like didn't somewhat sexually harass this girl. And there's like one scene in particular that made my like it really made me so anxious to watch. And it was actually completely unrelated to the other events in the movie, but it was a scene where the main character Leah was out partying, and she took a cab home and passed out in the back of the cab. And the scene shows her unconscious in the back seat, and it shows the driver like sliding his hand up her thigh, and then she like jolts awake, and he like snaps his hand back really quickly and is like, oh, we're here, that'll be like $17. And it was just very much like that, and like very, very in your face. And it's like, yes, this stuff happens. As a young female in 2016, I can say this happens so much, and it's like a very, very real issue. But in this movie, the movie was less than an hour and a half long, and it's like so many instances like that happened. I was just like, it got to the point where, and I said this in the video too, but it got to the point where a new man would show up, and I'd be like, oh, is this guy gonna be a predator as well? Like, is he gonna, I don't know. It was just, to a certain point, I felt like it lost like its effect, I guess.
They played that hand too hard.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm reading that it says like this is like based on the director's like,
Right.
life. So I'm curious, do you think that maybe how it's so heavy-handed is like meant to more be like not that it happens every time, like you're saying, like reality isn't necessarily like this, but for the movie's sake she maybe wanted to like actually every man you see is going to do this to you because that's how you or like her felt in the situation, I guess.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
I
have you
mean
thought
that,
about
that would
that?
definitely make sense. Yeah, it
Because
was
like it says like, you know, when she was like this is like about her like freshman year in college,
right.
and it's
Yeah,
like maybe like looking back on it, I guess like the way she wrote it is like, again, I haven't seen the movie. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking like, is it possible that she wanted to make it seem like that threat is real,
yeah,
no matter who's around you?
yeah.
Like, does that maybe like
I mean,
seem like a conveyed point, or
I think maybe
maybe I should just watch the movie?
maybe it's a possibility, and I do believe that the movie is worth watching. That was just something, it was just like a lot to take in, especially considering there are so many other things going on in the movie, and it's so fast paced, and it all adds and adds and adds to this like chaotic factor, even though like it's very like dressed up in like party scenes and like
Yeah.
her and like the main character also enjoying her sexuality outside of everything that happens too.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. I mean, I definitely think it's worth watching, and like if you do watch it, I'm interested to know what you have to say about it.
Yeah, I will.
But it's definitely a movie that like it's been a while since I watched a movie, and I was like, I honestly don't know if I liked it or not, but it left such an impression on me.
It seems interesting.
Yeah,
Because,
definitely.
you know, being someone who's like at the point in his life when like things did seem super heavy when I was like involved in like similar situations. Well, I guess like the drug use and drinking as like a youth.
Yeah.
There sometimes doesn't seem like there's like any like next move in that, and so I'm kind of curious because like it seems like you maybe didn't have this same point of view, but for me, just thinking about like the movie, it seems like she has like a completely specific thing of like how she really felt like I don't know, everything was.
Yeah.
This part's
And
weird. You can edit it. But
yeah.
I don't know. I'll watch it. I definitely want to watch it.
Yeah, and I mean maybe there is and I like some definite like strong meaning behind that, and I'm just unaware of it. But the movie, it was written and directed by Elizabeth Wood, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it was her first movie, her like debut.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely going to be paying attention to anything she does in the future, though, because I think other aspects of the movie, like the way that it was shot, it also adds this like very real look, as if like you're really there.
Okay.
Okay, so would you like to move on and start talking about your top 3?
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead.
My all-time favorite movie is Stand By Me. It's a movie I watched when I was like 5 years old with my uncle.
Classic.
The leech scene like terrified me as a young boy, but also like made me want to just watch that movie like over and over again. There's something about like the bond between like the friends, like this journey that they're on, that ultimately when they get to the dead body in that movie, like it doesn't really matter, and they're like confronted with some other like a actual problem,
Right.
and it's like it's such a formative movie for me, and all these years it like still holds up, and I just think that there are things like about like that story that still like relate with me and like every day, like it
Right.
kept with me. So I don't know why that's like my top favorite movie like of all time.
I think I also agree that it holds up, but I mean, I way different experience with it. Like the first time I watched that movie was in my like English class in like senior year of high school, and I mean, I did really really enjoy it. I think it maybe it's like the age they all are, but I think like the genuine friendship in that movie is like one of the most likable factors of it, and it shows like that they're all so different from each other, which I don't know. It really just like rung as like realistic to me, and it also seems like never mind. I don't know how to word what I'm thinking, but I also love River Phoenix.
Oh yeah,
Rest
he's
in
great.
peace.
He was. It would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. That movie just like has always meant a lot, and the movie doesn't date itself at all. Like it takes place in the 50s, I believe, 50s or early 60s. But like I could show that movie to someone like 10 years from now, and it still would like ring so true because it's about such a specific time in these like kids' lives when like nothing else like is important to them, but like they're like friends and their family members who they like like it or not, like quarrel with or not, and the fact that like the one fella has like his like dead brother, like I don't know, it's just a very like interesting like particular point in like someone's life, and I think that movie like really the book and the movie like really handle that very well.
Yeah. I haven't read the book.
Stephen King.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's not like supernatural at all.
Yeah, no.
Like it doesn't have like a weird fucking spider twist at the end. I'd say my second is probably The Lost Boys, which is also a movie I saw when I was way too young to watch, and the like I will never forget like the Michael like floating outside the window, just so terrifying. That whole chain of events, like the dog running up the stairs and like trying to get in the bathroom. Nanook, shout out Nanook. But yeah, I love that movie. It was like my gateway to horror movies, and like there's a specific thing about horror I love when like it's not comedy, but it's like you believe it basically. Like they're it's like grounded somewhat in reality, and that's like the ultimate like grounded in reality movie I feel like for me,
right.
because like if there were fucking vampires, where else would they live but like a cave off the side of the ocean if they wanted to be at the beach? You know what I'm saying? It's like it makes total sense, and the effects are like so great, and like really there are only like two, like maybe just like one like super bloody scene in that movie, so it's like it technically isn't even really like a horror movie,
right,
until like the very end. You know what I mean? Like it's more like a like kind of like action movie, I'd say, like throughout, but then the end scene is just when they're like all the vampires are just like terrorizing the house. It's like it's a perfect combination of things in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something we're also potentially going to review.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be doing a more in-depth review as a group. Yeah, because we have to do it with Dave, who is not a part of the recording today, but is a very big part of Filmspeak.
Yeah.
So, I guess we can't get super into it, but I watched Lost Boys for the first time this past Halloween.
Oh yeah.
And it was after you guys, I had like heard you guys talk about it,
yeah.
And the way, it's when somebody talks about a movie that they love, I feel like you automatically just want to watch it too. So, that was my first time watching it. So we're definitely gonna have a different perspective of it when we do our review. But yeah, what's your third favorite movie?
Beautiful Girls.
I have not seen. I don't think I've heard of it either.
It's starring Timothy Hutton, Michael Rappaport, Matt Dillon, Mira Sorvino is in it. Rosie O'Donnell is in it. It's like a movie about like a guy who he's like like Timothy Hutton plays like a jazz pianist, pretty sure, like in like New York. He's like a cool like hotshot kind of guy, and he goes home for the holidays and basically is like just thrown right back into his like daily like old like daily life. All of his friends are still like in that small snowy like Massachusetts town, and like like all their problems are right like on his plate as soon as he gets back home. There's like Matt Dillon's character is like New York. He's like a cool like hotshot kind of guy, and he goes home for the holidays and basically is like just thrown right back into his like daily like old like daily life. There's like all his friends who like have like all of his friends are still like in that small snowy like Massachusetts town, and like you know, like all their problems are right like on his plate as soon as they get like he gets back home. You know, like there's like Matt Dillon's character is like he's like sleeping with a woman who's married to like somebody else, and like they, you know, the husband is like someone that like went to high school with them, like they've been married since high school, so there's like real weirdness there, and like, you know, basically like all the like weird like towny stuff that goes on, like, this guy has to like be thrown back into it. But his new neighbor at his like dad's house is a young Natalie Portman, and like she's like 12 years old in this movie.
Wow. But
I don't want to call it like love, but it's like they have like a very unique relationship, and like he, by the end of the movie, is like pretty, I don't know, there are some scenes in that movie that I feel like are like would throw people off, but it's weird when there are some scenes in that movie that like get a little iffy, like, you know, like on purpose. It's like it's sort of written to be like, is Timothy Hutton for real like in love with a 12-year-old Natalie Portman? But then it's like, you know, nothing ever like happens with that, and it's more about him being like, you know, he wanted to get away from like this whole situation, and he did, and then when he comes home, he's like thrown right back into it, but then he like misses some part of that like youth, you know, like the movie like gets down to like the core of this guy sort of, and like it's just like such an interesting movie, and I don't know, like it reminds me a lot of like friends that I have had, and like thoughts about like what sort of like future maybe we all would have, and unfortunately like some things in that movie have like come true for like some people that I know, and like that's not cool, but like, yeah, I don't know, I just think that's like a really like honest look at what happens when you don't go anywhere after college, or like, you know what I'm saying, like,
right.
It's good.
I'll check it out. I'll definitely check it out.
Sounds like you want to.
No.
No, it's really great. I'll let you borrow it.
Okay, cool.
Actually, it might be streaming, but anyway, you should look out.
When was it made?
96.
Okay.
I think.
Oh, right. If Natalie Portman was that young, that makes sense.
Yeah. But the thing about it is like one of my mom's favorite movies, and I was always like, I'm not gonna watch that. I'm not gonna watch that. I'm not gonna watch that. And then I was like 20 years old. I was like, holy shit, this is like my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
And it like literally is now.
Like throughout my entire life, I feel that my mom has been like, oh, this movie is awesome. I love this movie. And I just had this natural thing where I'm just like, fuck that. I'm not going to watch it because my mom likes it. And then I would somehow end up watching it and then be like, holy shit, she was right. Like that happened with The Office, which is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. But I would see her watching it all the time, and I remember I would be in my room at certain points before I started watching it, and she would be like crying, laughing on the couch, and I'd be like, oh, like, is she ever gonna like shut the fuck up? But then I think I was like grounded over like
not wanting to watch The Office.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, oh no. I was grounded one time, and I just like happened to just watch an episode on Netflix, and then I was like, whoa, I was wrong.
Yeah, 96. Oh, also Uma Thurman. Shout out Uma Thurman.
Shout out Uma, love you, girl.
She's like a big plot point in that movie.
Oh.
Dude, that movie's really good.
I'll definitely check it out. Alright, well that about wraps it up for this episode of Filmspeak. Make sure that you follow us on Instagram. Our handle is @Filmspeak. We are also on Twitter @FilmspeakPod, and we also have a page on Facebook. You can also check out our website, filmspeakpodcast.com.
Shout out Goo Punch Heads.
Bye, y'all.